Hello, BPSR Said Flame here. I'm going to be talking about my experience with Blue Protocol Star Resonance. In order to do so, we will be covering the topics of graphics, optimization, and gameplay. Starting with graphics, character design. The character aesthetic is anime-like in nature. It is very simple and takes inspiration from Japanese animation with its basic textures and thin line art. I happen to really like this eye-catching art style. Next, we have the world design. The world is built using a vibrant color palette and simple, soft textures. For example, this town is very eye-catching, yet simple in nature. This takes inspiration from the anime art style as well, which is coherent with the character design. Moving on to PC optimization. The game runs smoothly on most PCs meeting the minimum requirements. It is very well optimized considering it is built to also run on mobile devices. Now, let's talk about the gameplay. More precisely, the story. I've heard that the story is less than good, but have not experienced it myself, as I've skipped the cutscenes. Please, leave a comment about this story and your thoughts on it. Thank you. Next, the combat. It seems like the devs want us to favor auto combat for many of the classes, as there's no big disparity between auto combat and manual combat for some of the classes. The biggest offender being the archer class. Aside from the dull automation, dungeon bosses have mechanics and you do have to dodge at times, making them a little more interesting to fight. But the majority of monsters you fight are as easy as pressing the hotkey and going to the loo. The character customization in this game is amazing. There are various hairs and faces to mix and match. It also includes sliders for facial features and body proportions. Let's cover classes. There are 8 combat classes to choose from. 2 are tanks, 2 are healers, and 4 are offensive classes. Each class has 2 specializations, making them quite varied. I picked the beat performer because I like the sound of a guitar smacking monsters. The variety allows all players to find a role that suits them and gives them freedom to use a favored weapon. I do hope that they expand on classes in the future. We are lacking in the greatsword department. The group content is the main focus of the game. It has world bosses, dungeons, crusades, and coming soon, raids. The world bosses can be slain in very large groups of people. They are fun to slay when in big groups or with friends following groups of players. The 20-person crusades are fun boss fights in big groups. The 5-person dungeons are usually run with a tank, a healer, and 3 DPS. They can prove to be a challenge, but become trivialized quickly when you have a gear score advantage. The upcoming master dungeons may fix that issue. So far, the group content has been very enjoyable with my guild. I do hope for some solo content in the future, as it is quite lackluster at the moment. The progression in this game requires players to upgrade many things. There are talents, which you acquire by leveling and questing, skills, which are leveled with in-game currency and books, and finally, gear, which can be reforged, refined, and embedded. You can check your character progression by taking a look at your gear score. They are going to add more features in the progression in the future called modules. I think the progression in this game is a little much, but it is normal for mobile games to have systems to feed dopamine receptors, I suppose. As this game is a mobile game, I cannot talk about it without mentioning the gacha system in play. This predatory practice has been normalized in such games. You can choose to gamble for rare outfits, mounts, and wills. The most outrageous thing about this game is gambling for wills, as it can be done for free, but paying makes it faster. And it does give a substantial power boost, for a price. I think this is insulting to people with gambling addictions and should be removed from the game, even though I know this is keeping the game alive. It is quite bothersome. This game's user interface is a bit hard to understand as the hotkeys used to open a lot of the menus don't make sense by default. It seems like it was made for a Chinese keyboard because I fail to understand why they would use these hotkeys otherwise. Aside from the hotkeys, the menus are hard to navigate and not sectioned properly. This needs to be addressed so newer players can navigate the menus with ease. All things considered, this game is promising, but some aspects of the game are a complete turn-off. It is somewhat enjoyable at times, very fun with friends, but the gacha mechanics and the confusing systems at play make it a little hard for me to give it a good rating. Also, the fact that leaving my PC on with the game running when I'm not there is good feels kind of bad. I would rate it a solid 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, night, whatever. Peace!